Welcome back. Still looking at the forthcoming Youth and Entrepreneurs League elections. Quite a number of expectations amidst reservations and a sense of foreboding that the violence and the chaos and the manipulation that happened at Kololo could stream down to the district. There is a sense that this whole election is a big challenge to the Secretariat in terms of resources and manpower.
It was when we conducted the elective delegates conference. Simon, truth be told, that in Uganda, apart from an Ambole march that gathers over 30,000 people in Ambole, there is no other congregation, organized congregation, that requires accreditation, verification, facilitation, and feeding that is conducted in Uganda, apart from the National Delegates Conference of the National Resistance Movement.
And it's never been any better, any good.
Apart from this time.
No, it's always had glitches.
We have had glitches in different areas. Previously, we had glitches during the accreditation exercise. You saw how people would fight.
I remember the 2014 affair. It was a big mess.
Yeah, it was a big mess. And because of that, many members in the current secretariat were part of the processes that happened in that 2014. We even co-opted on many people who had participated in the arrangement, who were part of the organizing committee, and they were able to perfect the areas that set us down last time. Because last time we had a problem in the identification of the list. Now the Secretary General required Dr. Tango Doi early enough to submit the list to him for accreditation, which Dr. Tango Doi did. Secondly, the accreditation process was centrally managed and everybody was accredited. And the facilitation, last time we had a problem on how to pay the facilitation for the delegates. Somehow the Secretariat had chosen that we shall have a centralized team in Kampala. Once you have been accredited, you go and be paid. But in order now to cancel that, we decentralized, like we are decentralizing the elections. We said the only person who knows the delegates is the chairman of the district, the treasurer of the district, and the admin whom we pay is our staff. So let the three, at the time of accreditation, come once we verify the list, we count the numbers, we give them the money, and we shall follow it up. It will be easier to arrest our admin, the chairman of the district, or the treasurer, if they connive to eat the delegates' money, than pretending to create a team in Kampala to pay the entire system.
It seems you're quite oblivious of what happened at Kololo. At Kololo, there were alarms. One of the people who actually complained was Honorable Chris Bariomunsi, that there were fake delegates who had been allowed into the tent, into the Kololo arena.
You know, in Kololo, there were many people who are not supposed to be delegates. We had people who were providing security. We had the handlers of people with disability. We had the service providers. We have members of the media who are journalists. If you had fake individuals like journalists who choose to run into a line because they all had tags, then that one could have a problem. Those were possibilities, and now that we have learned it, could be in the future we are likely to make the colors of the tags look different. So that even at the time of voting, you can prevent, you will have the security members of the security team. What if a member of the security team was dubious and he chose when he's passing a line being counted and he also joined the line? It is possible. Those are possibilities that could be done. We did not want to rule that out. But I want to tell you, this conference was far much better than the previous conferences. Save for that time during elections which we think we shall improve in future.
Is it too early for NRM to come to grips or to make an audit of exactly what happened at Kololo? And to what extent, in percentage terms, are the ghosts of Kololo likely to visit the districts?
After every exercise, we conduct an internal audit. And I want to tell you that our research team, we have a whole fully-fledged research team at the party headquarters. They are documenting. And whenever we conduct an exercise, all of us, the party leaders at the secretariat, are deployed in respective areas. I've been managing Bale for a very long time during the register processing and other exercises. They put you in a region so that you pick the silent issues that the secretariat should know, and that could be brought to the attention of the Central Executive Committee. I believe at the end of this exercise, we are going to delve and look into this, depending on the time limitations that we have. Some of these, even when we consider them now, may come to the fore after elections next year, because next week we have a nomination of the nominations for the presidential candidates on Tuesday and Wednesday. And for us, we have the first rally for the presidential elections on the 30th of this month in the Greater Luero. So you can see that everything is now running to the general elections. Even when some of these issues come up, they may not be considered during the process, but there will be food for thought that will inform our decisions in the future, so that every time we aspire to do better than what we have done in the past.
When you look at the forthcoming elections, how will you scuttle the issue of money?
You know, money
and influences.
Money is a real devil in the NRM. And the national chairman himself in every forum. Last week, we had the meeting of the party NRM caucus. It took a very bigger part of his communication. During the inaugural SEC meeting, he gave a bigger part of it, and he also gave the genesis of how progressively money has become an issue in the elections. And I think going forward, he has met the leadership of the party and the leadership of the security agencies on what they need to do. I want to tell you where the law specifically prohibits the use of money and somebody is got, the law is going to be very firm. And many people could end up being disqualified in the next elections if it is proved that they use the money to bribe. You cannot rule out money. Because what we do, we require money. We need transport, we need advertisement, we need communication, we need publicity, we need facilitation. But bribery is an offense. It's a criminal one for that matter. So people could be pursued through the electoral laws, but they could also be pursued through the penal code once there is evidence and is provided.
What is the fate of the disgraced Tango Doi?
Now
that he's been told to back off?
Tango Doi has not stolen anything. Tango Doi was elected to favor his son.
And his son won.
Exactly what the Bible says. The Bible specifically asks that whose son will ask for fish and is given a snake. We are told that as children of God, that we must ask and God will give us. If you can ask God to give you, why wouldn't Tanga give to his son when he asks? That is what would be thought. And for us, because we know being biased is human, that's why he's set aside. That's not something that disgraces an individual, but
it's a clear vindication. It's a clear judgment. He's judged as being an unfair arbiter of an election.
We can only make that accusation after the election's results have made, if indeed the results turn out different from what Dr. Tango Doi had announced. But if the elections come and his son has won, then perhaps Dr. Tango Doi is going to be vindicated. that after all I had counted the same and counted well, and now you see even now my son has won. So we can only begin debating those possibilities.
Yeah, but in the public
after the
domain,
results.
Tanga is now a disgraced head of an electoral commission.
Depending on which side of the public you are, if you are in an election and you lost, definitely you will not look at Dr. Tanga with the favorable eyes. If you are in the elections and you won, some people are celebrating and they are calling Dr. Tanga a hero. I hear some people are producing children and naming them Tanga because many of them he taught them in school, taught them at the university, and now he's presiding over the elections. I don't want really to heap a lot of praise on Dr. Tanga.
No, look.